What's up guys, Fast Eddie here, and today we're going to analyze Joseph Myrick. Joseph is definitely most famous for showing up with this fucking, with this truck that you can see in this camera right here. But this guy's basically just like a fucking coked out redneck. His interaction with Chris is hilarious. He's so high that he's just like motor mouthing it so quick. I think they put fucking subtitles in. It's been a while since I've seen the footage, but this shit definitely should be good.
All right, Amanda. A tractor trailer coming down the road. Get ready.
Look at the big ass thing.
What this next suspected sex predator does for a living.
All right, so let him turn off the engine.
At least they say suspected. I mean, I guess technically he's suspected. I think it's fair to just say that he's obviously a predator. Like colloquially, we would all refer to him as a predator. But yeah, that's just an interesting distinction that Chris makes.
Won't be able to hear anything until he cuts the engine. Let's let him get down.
He's a 41-year-old truck driver from Fayetteville, Georgia, Joseph Myrick. He thinks a 15-year-old girl is...
If this shit was in current day, that would be a fucking MAGA hat. That's so funny. I mean, obviously, since this was in 2007, there's no way that it was. But, I mean, that look definitely didn't go out of style.
Inside, ready to have sex with him.
Hey, you made it. Come on in, I'm just getting some laundry out. Okay.
His screen name is too graphic to use, but in his chat, he asks the
It's Dick Hungwell or some shit. I'm pretty sure it's just Dick Hungwell.
Decoy, when it comes to sex, are there any positions you like best? The person pretending to be the 15-year-old.
What is that? Midnight Rider? Midnight Rider? What the fuck? That's a funny fucking decoy. She's the Midnight Rider. She's out on her fucking motorcycle. She's fighting crime. The decoy's the Midnight Rider girl.
Says, I only did the one. Then he says, well, we'll try others. When the decoy says it's awesome that he's bringing the big truck, he says, well, I do not want your mom finding out because it would mess up a good thing.
A good thing for him.
That's a big truck you got. How do you drive that thing?
Yeah. To be honest with you, it's like driving.
And her accent sounds like it's authentic, so she must actually be from the area. And I bet you, well, he is too, so he would probably be able to detect a fucking fake. I mean, if this guy showed up and the person, the decoy, was given a fake accent, I think that would be worse than the me, my mommy, and my daddy guy. And that one was fucking bad.
Car.
Well, I would love to go for a ride sometime.
Well, I'd love to take you.
Where exactly were you going to take her in that truck of yours?
I was just going to take her down and see.
And they put fucking subtitles because he's so incoherent.
Places, no one's talk to her.
Like where?
She want to go for a ride. I ain't mean no harm trying to do nothing I shouldn't be doing. Trying to.
I mean, well, yeah. Let's also notice. So I'm remarking on what this guy's wearing, and it's pretty interesting that you have this distinction. So this is interesting. This represents this interaction right here. This snapshot represents the distinction between working class America and the upper echelons of society. On one hand, you have the business owner, the corporatist, the Manhattanite, the face of commerce, the guy who's running things, buying and selling. And then on the other hand, you have just the average worker, the guy who's showing up and, putting in his hours 9 to 5. So it's just interesting. And you could see that primarily in the way that they're dressed. Chris is wearing a nice suit, which probably costs a few $1,000s. His entire outfit probably costs a few $1,000s at least, probably around $3,000 at the time. And then this guy's wearing fucking denim. He's got a fucking ponytail, some cowboy boots. I mean, he's just like ready to fucking hit up a ZZ Top concert like right after. So that's an interesting snapshot.
He didn't know pervert or nothing.
That's what he says
No
now.
pervert.
What about what he said to her online?
And immediately he's on the defensive. So this is before Chris has even thrown any outright explicit accusations at him, and he's already defensively posturing.
Say, well, I do think you're damn sexy.
Yeah,
I was wanting to know if you have ever had sex.
Oh, yeah.
I have it all right here, so you might as well just tell me right now.
I ain't disputing it. No, sir, I ain't disputing it. I'm just damn.
I think you probably have a very
So I'm not lying, but I guess I'm surprised.
nice ass as well.
I just fell into the conversation. I ain't gonna sit here and try to make no excuses for the things I said because I fell into the conversation. It was totally.
So I mean, so this is basically an admission of guilt as well. He says, "Because I fell into the conversation. It was they put in the fucking stutters right there. It was totally it was wrong." And oh, that's awesome. They typed up in this transcript all the fucking all the stuttering and shit.
It was wrong, and
You say, yeah, I'll be your bear, and we bears like tasting honey.
when you read it back to me like that right there, and I realizing what I said, no, you're right.
What do you think would have happened if
I mean, this guy doesn't even have the mental capacity to even mount a defense. I mean, he's just totally acknowledging, and I think he knows it. Myrick knows. I think Joseph knows what his limitations are. He knows what he's good at in life, and he knows what he's bad at. And he's definitely not even going to try to defend himself on this. You get no real defiance. He's. I mean, he doesn't outright just say, "Yeah, I'm guilty and I did it," but he's not denying anything that Chris is saying.
I wasn't here, and in fact, a 15-year-old girl was here.
I told myself, I get in here to sit and just talk to her, you know.
You just said you were going to take her for a ride in the truck.
If she wanted to go,
How do you think a girl's father would feel if a 40-year-old man took a 15-year-old girl for a ride in a truck?
He'd be upset, right?
And he'd be
so.
justified.
Yeah, he'd be upset, rightly so.
You own that rig yourself?
No, sir.
So you work for a company that owns that rig?
Yes, sir.
And
I wonder at that point before let's go back though.
Yes, sir.
So you work for a company that owns that rig?
Yes, sir.
I wonder if right here in this moment he knows what he's going to be asked next. I wonder if he's aware and if he's anticipating for it.
And how do you think they'd take to the fact you're out driving that rig around, going to meet a 15-year-old girl?
Well, they were looking on it as in a bad note.
Bad
No.
It's such an awkward way to describe something. It's like I don't know if I would ever use that. Say, well, I guess you would say on a bad note. I mean, if you were introducing a new subject, that's when I would use that term. I would say, how was work today? I go, oh, it was good, but on a bad note, and then I would articulate whatever bad experience happened. This guy just says like, oh, they look at it on a bad note. I think he improperly used that term.
You know what's wrong.
It was foolish. It was the wrong thing to do, and it won't happen again. I know you got a job to do, and I see it all the time. And
you see what all the time?
On news reports.
You see stories on television news about guys coming over to meet underage kids.
Yes, sir. But
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults
He knows.
who try to meet young teens on the internet. If there's anything else
there's
you'd
no
like
reaction.
to tell us, we're happy to hear it, and if not, you're
No reaction. I suspect that, and I should just like start looking this shit up before I do this. I suspect that he's been arrested before, so he's not. It's not like I mean, this is. I think in Joseph's mind, this is just another charge. This isn't the defining charge. I think that his casual, calm reaction to the cameras and to knowing that he's on To Catch a Predator, his calm reaction to it is indicative that he's not too worried about going to jail. He's just not even fucking concerned. Like, he doesn't react in any physical way. He's just fucking calm as hell.
You're obviously welcome to walk out the door you came in.
I told myself on the way down here.
He's just waving his arm around.
Stay away from the sexual overtones.
But he didn't do that at all, so it's kind of funny that he acknowledges that. And it's really unfortunate that we don't have all the interaction between when he initially stood up and from when he was walking out the door. I wonder if he said anything to any of the camera crew, like any snarky ass fucking comments as he was walking out.
The 41-year-old leaves the house, and you know what happens next.
Get on the ground now.
It's arrest done.
All the way down.
Yeah. He knows so he just calmly says yes, sir. He knows the drill.
This isn't Myrick's first time in handcuffs.
Yep. What do you know?
Stand up on me now.
Yes, sir.
This individual, Joseph Myrick, he's had 11.
He's laughing. What the fuck? This guy's smiling in that
Stand up
moment.
on me now.
Yes, sir.
This individual, Joseph Myrick,
He was laughing right there.
he's had 11 prior arrests.
11
11?
11 prior arrests. It could range from possession of drugs to
Yeah, so this guy doesn't give a fuck. That's why he was just calm as hell. I mean, he didn't even he wasn't even sweating it too much. Jail was nothing new for him.
simple battery.
Simple
to
battery.
theft. Pretty good little record that we have on him. Started as early as 1983.
He was never convicted on the battery or theft charges, but in the 1990s, he was convicted of 6 misdemeanors and 1 felony drug charge.
Felony drug
After
charge.
Myrick
You know, I guess on a totally unrelated note, I think that criminalization of drugs is, as a whole, just fucking so detrimental to society. I take the radical position that drugs should be legal. I mean, fuck it, heroin, cocaine, meth, whatever it is. I think, and I take that position because the only way to give power to criminal organizations like cartels is to create a black market. So you prohibit the drug in the legitimate market to where it has to be produced by the black market. So criminals begin to, there's crime associated with the drugs, and that's a lot of that's what a lot of drug crime is too. It's like you have people who are forced to be criminals because they're drug addicts, and then it's like once you're a criminal, you're a criminal. Um, but yeah, most people who are drug users, I don't think that I think if this guy was just caught like using cocaine or crack or fucking heroin, whatever, I don't think that anyone is just using a substance like that deserves to be a felon just for the use of it. I think that's fucking absurd.
arrest, his truck is searched.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Detectives find
That dude's fucking jacked. Look at that guy. Fucking, this guy looks like Goldberg, the fucking
truck is
wrestler.
searched.
Cocaine.
Cocaine, that dude's fucking jacked. Big ass Mr. Clean.
Where detectives find cocaine.
That looks like crack cocaine. It could be powder cocaine. I mean, it's not in powder. It seems to be clumped together, which suggests that it's crack. But yeah, he probably did some. He probably did a bump before he even went in the fucking house. He probably just broke off a tiny little bit and like put it on his gums or whatever. If it's just powder cocaine.
Myrick is then brought in for questioning, where he appears to
And at this point, so he's gonna start covering his face after the fact.
find cocaine.
That's when the cocaine wears off and he comes to his senses.
Myrick is then brought in
Yeah,
for
now he
questioning,
covers
where
his
he
face.
appears to admit what he's done is wrong.
Do you have any kids?
No, so I got nieces and nephews.
How would you feel if somebody...
I've never seen his police interrogation footage. I wonder if that's something that we have. You know, that's probably something that we haven't had. That would be interesting. Fuck, it would be really cool to be able to get a hold of that.
This thing.
Well,
Fucking shit audio though. Fuck.
honest answer,
Honest answer.
I want to kill him.
Then the investigator asks Myrick.
So okay, hold on.
You want an honest answer?
Let's go back.
Nephew.
How would you feel if somebody did this thing?
You want an honest answer?
Honest answer.
I want to kill him.
Well, at least he's honest there. I mean, like I said, I've said this before. I think it's not strategic to say honestly. It just makes you come off as a liar. But yeah, that's a normal response. You'd want to kill someone if they did that to someone who you loved. So yeah, at least he acknowledges that. Some of these guys are like, oh, I wouldn't care as long as it's I don't know. They just come up with these retarded defenses. But at least he's being honest.
Then the investigator asks Myrick about his use of cocaine.
I'm gonna tell you like it is.
I can tell you like it is. Damn, that's a fucking that must be some fucking what is this, Georgia? That must be some Georgia shit. I'm gonna tell you like it is.
The doctor, I was in town and I was under the influence.
Okay, so he's gonna blame it all on the cocaine, of course. That could. I'm not saying it's a defense. More interestingly enough, I was wondering whether Chris Urban. I mean, I guess I'm not sure that the effects of cocaine are as similar, but Chris Urban he's a different guy who got caught, but he showed up with like a meth pipe, so he was on meth, and it's interesting to wonder whether Chris Urban and methamphetamine abuse, not just use but abuse, meth abuse, whether that could have led to his seeking of a minor. Just in terms of depravity and like I don't know, maybe sick, exceedingly. I don't know how the psychology of it, but I was just wondering if like a person could become, like a meth addict and just gradually over time, just everything would be warped eventually. I guess as a product of that, not because meth is bad, but just because it's bad. Not because meth is inherently. Well, I guess it is pretty bad, but because it's illegal, it's associated with a lot of crime. That's what I'm saying. And it's like people who use meth are often forced into bad situations. So.
He seems to blame the cocaine for his current predicament. He'll be charged with drug possession, along with attempting to commit child molestation and obscene internet contact.
I'm going to set the criminal attempt child molestation at $15,000, the possession of controlled substance, $5,000.
Damn, 5,000. That's funny. So yeah, he. I mean, at least at the end, he takes it. So that's good. But this guy, yeah, it's good that he's caught. He was a danger to society. And society's much better with his ass behind bars. You know, he was probably released. Well, I mean, eventually he was released, but I wouldn't be surprised if this fucker is, if he's still alive, if he's sitting in a cell somewhere. All right, so that's fucking the Joseph, the truck driver Myrick. Until next time.